Hi, I'm Sam Rollins, Chief of Communications for Santa Cruz City Schools, with your weekly news. And this week, you probably know the news. We have a new COVID protocol that we use in response to any surge in positive cases at a school. You got that email. But there was a lot of information in that email. And if you're anything like me, then sometimes that just washes all over you. So this week, we're going to be breaking down the substantial exposure protocol and ask if we've ever heard a scarier name for taking extra care. I hope you're hanging in there, because my mind is at the point of putting milk away in the oven, and I've lost my glasses while wearing them this week. So it's all too much. All over again. We're going to be taking extra care at school of everyone's safety. I hope that you are going to be taking extra care of your sanity. Okay, this new protocol, developed in cooperation with county health in response to new state guidance, only goes active when a school has a high enough number of exposures, and all it means is we treat everyone as though they're exposed. Now, by now, most families know what follows. If your unvaccinated student is exposed at school, they are put in what public health calls a modified quarantine. They can stay in class as long as they test twice a week, and they have to take at least 7 days off of extracurricular activities. That is the headline. That is most of what is new here. Every week, your school will work with the district to get a picture of exposure on campus and decide if the substantial exposure protocol is needed that week to keep students safe. Now, as you all know, if your student is vaccinated, they don't have to go under modified quarantine. They will, by and large, not be very affected by the substantial exposure protocol. But at these times of substantial exposure, we will still ask and encourage everyone to test twice a week, even vaccinated students, because the more we know about COVID's footprint in our community and in our schools, the safer everyone will be. Now, if you have had and recovered from COVID in the last 90 days, you have the same status as a vaccinated student. But we ask you not to test with PCR tests because they can return positives for up to 90 days after infection. So please take an antigen test in that case. This also means that if your student has not registered with Inspire, our on-campus testing lab, they will not be able to attend in-person class during the substantial exposure protocol. Please register your student if you haven't already. Testing is easy. It's quick. It keeps our campuses safe. And even my 7-year-old daughter says, and I quote, "It's easy." Register at link number 1. We're in the process of securing masks for all students. Smaller masks for smaller kids are challenging for us to get, but still, at any time your student comes to class without a paper mask, you will be able to get one from the front office. It's just that soon we hope to be able to hand out packs of masks at the front office. More info on that will come once we're fully stocked. We've learned 2 things from the last 2 years. One is that the classroom remains the absolute best place for students to learn. The other is that we have seen now a massive volume of data that shows here and across the country that in-class safety measures work to keep COVID from spreading. So while our community deals with a rise in cases, we are providing a rise in our countermeasures. Now, for anyone who needs or wants a home quarantine when the substantial exposure protocol is in effect, every student has the option for short-term independent study, but each student can only use 15 days of this, state rules. And if you have questions on how to use it, when to use it, and how it works, I invite you to join us on Monday at 6 p.m. for our COVID Q&A webinar on Zoom. We will be going way into depth on this and everything else about the new COVID protocol. On this page, you will find links to register for testing, links to our drive-through testing locations and hours, use them if you're sick or exposed, links to schedule vaccinations for you and your student. They're proven safe by 4.7 billion people and have shown significant protection against hospitalization and severe symptoms. You will find links to see what to do if you or your student are sick, positive, or exposed. You'll find a link to our COVID Zoom Q&A webinar next Monday, and you'll find my email. Please reach out with questions, concerns, and anything else that you think we need to know. Thank you for all you do for your student and to keep your community safe. And remember, everyone has experienced and continues to experience this pandemic differently. So thank you also for being patient with each other when you're able. Take care, and I'll see you next week.